What's up, guys? It's Dwayne from mountainbuck.com. Join me on the hunt for the best hunting products. And guys, today we're checking out the new Spypoint LM2 cellular trail camera. This is an entry-level camera that offers 20 megapixel photos and an optimized antenna. Now, this doesn't offer videos, so if photos are more your thing, this might be the camera for you. Spypoint also offers a very generous 100 photos a month for free, which I don't know of any other cellular trail cam company that does that. So a really nice incentive there, 100 photos for free each and every month. Now let's check this out. So here's the LM2 right out of the packaging, and I was actually surprised at how small this camera is. This is a nice little size here that's going to help you conceal this in the woods. And round bottom here, we have the standard thread mounts if you want to mount it this way on a tripod or whatever you got. Round back here, you do have a 12-volt plug here if you want to add a solar panel or external battery pack. Here is our spot for our antenna. We'll just take this little red thing off right here. Good to go there. Let's open this guy up. So inside here, this does take a micro SD card, and we'll just pull that out. And it looks like we take 8 batteries in this removable battery cartridge. Let me see if I can pop this out here. So this is gonna pull right out. So you get 4 in the back and 4 in the front. We also have a very simple design here. No bells or whistles or crazy buttons, just a very simple on and off. And that's super easy when you're out there. Make sure you know this thing's on, just flip it on, you're good to go. You also get the strap for the tree here and a little LM2 quick start guide. All right, our antenna is on nice and secure. Let's get this connected up to the app and get our settings right where we want them. The QR code to activate this camera is actually under the battery cartridge, so it's a little bit different. We'll start out here with a delay between the photos of 10 seconds and up our sensitivity to high. Let me jump in here for a quick second, guys. The first day I had this camera out there, I had that sensitivity setting dialed all the way up to high, and this camera took quite a few false trigger photos, so many in fact that it used up my free 100 photos for the month. I turned those settings down to low, and the camera performed much better with a lot fewer false triggers. We're going to leave our trigger speed at optimal, although you can go to fast if you'd like. We're also going to bump up our resolution all the way up to high to get the full 20 megapixels. For now, I'm setting the sync frequency to each detection, but I will be changing that to every 4 hours once I'm done with the initial trigger speed and detection range tests. All right, our LM2 is all set and ready to go. Let's get this outside and run some tests. All right, our LM2 is all set on the tree, and that has to be the smallest cellular trail camera I've ever used. Nice and compact and super easy to use with that on and off functionality. Just turn that switch on and you're ready to go. Now this camera has a 0.5 second trigger speed, and what we're gonna do now to test that is my trigger speed analysis, where I set up about 10 yards in front of the camera, run right by and see how long it takes the LM2 to pick me up. Let's find out. Next up is our detection range, and the LM2 here has a 90-foot detection range and a 90-foot flash range. And how I'm doing this one is I have 4 cones set up behind me. First one's at 10 yards, then 20, 25, and then all the way out at 30 yards to see if we can max it out at that 90-foot detection range. I'm gonna walk by each one at a nice leisurely pace and see how far out the LM2 is gonna capture me. All right, our trigger speed and detection range tests are all set. Let's check that footage and see how this camera performed. The trigger speed caught me right after mid-frame here with that optimal setting. If I switched over to the fast setting, it may have caught me slightly sooner around mid-frame. The detection range for this camera caught me at every single marker all the way out to 30 yards, so it lives up to its 90-foot detection range claim. Here's a regular image you get right from the app, and here's the HD version you can request. Here's a side-by-side comparison where I've blown up both images so you can see the difference in image quality. You can see that doe much more clearly in the HD photo. Here's another daytime image with the subject farther away, and here's the HD version. Here's the side-by-side comparison where I've blown them both up, and you can see it's much easier to see the doe on the right in that HD version. Here's an example of the nighttime image quality, and here's the HD version of the same photo. Here's a side-by-side comparison where I've blown both those images up, and now this buck was moving here, so there's a bit of a blur going on. Here's another nighttime photo where a buck is further out, and here's the HD version of that same photo. And again, here's the comparison, and this is where you can really see the benefit of those HD photos. With that HD photo, even though the buck is a good distance away, you can still make out what that rack looks like, and that's the kind of information that's really important to me. Here's the IR this camera gives off for night photos. Over the course of the test period, the LM2 took 305 photos, and the battery life is still at 94%. That is some exceptional battery life. Now, the photo transmission rate was set to every 4 hours, but still having 94% after all that is excellent. This is also the smallest cellular trail camera that I've seen or tested, which is a nice little perk as well. Overall, this is a nice entry-level, budget-friendly camera that's going to take some good quality photos and not burn up your batteries. As always, the links to the items we talk about are in the description below. Guys, get yourself some killer mountain buck gear. Do me a favor, hook me up and hit subscribe. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one.